Welcome back to the Business Book Club, everyone. You know how this works. We help you get the big ideas from great business books, and we do it fast. This time we're diving deep into Do More Faster, TechStars Lessons to Accelerate Your Startup. It's by David Cohen and Brad Feld.
Oh, this one is great for anyone who feels like they're spinning your wheels. It's all about action, yeah. And not just any action, though. It's got to be the right action. Focused, deliberate, the kind that leads to fast growth.
I love that growth. And I think we've got the perfect author duo to guide us. David Cohen, he's the co-founder and CEO of TechStars, the startup accelerator. So he's seen what actually works, not just theory.
Right, and then you've got Brad Feld on the other side, managing director at Foundry Group. They're a VC firm, but he also co-founded TechStars, so he's been on both sides of that funding table.
Talk about experience. So let's get into it. The core theme of this book, it's right there in the title, Do More Faster. But what does that actually mean for startups?
Well, everyone always talks about passion and ideas, right? This book kicks off there, sure, but then it gets real. It's like, okay, great idea, now what? Because ideas are everywhere, but execution, that's what matters.
Execution, execution, execution. That's what we preach on the show, too. But how do Cohen and Feld define execution when we're talking startups?
It's a mix, a blend of things. Speed, for sure. You got to be agile, adaptable, and you've got to be learning constantly from everything you do. That's the startup advantage.
Makes sense. Big company, they're slow, like turning a giant ship. Startups, they can zigzag, like almost instantly.
Exactly.
Now, they use Kevin Mann as an example, founder of Graphically.
Oh, yeah, great story.
He was just, a frustrated comic book fan? Turned that into a whole digital platform.
That's it. His passion, that was the fuel. He wanted a better way to experience comics, and bam, built it.
So that personal pain point, it can spark the idea.
But, and this is key, the book really hammers this home, ideas are a dime a dozen.
It's the execution?
You got it. That's what sets the winners apart.
So it's not enough to have that billion-dollar idea. You got to make it happen, and fast.
And the book is full of stories about companies that did that. Like Occipital, they created the Red Lacer app.
Red Lacer, yeah, I remember that.
They went through 4 different products in just 6 months.
Wow, that is rapid fire.
That's the do more faster mindset.
They were willing to, fail fast?
Fail fast, learn even faster. Not get stuck trying to make each thing perfect.
Makes you think about how much time we waste on stuff.
Right. Get it out there, get feedback, and move on.
So rapid iteration, that's one piece of this execution puzzle.
Big piece. But they also talk about data.
Data-driven decisions.
Gotta have it. Always be testing what you think is true. Use the data to steer the ship.
Okay, give me an example here.
They talk about Ari Newman. He founded Silterbox.
Okay, Silterbox, yeah.
He was constantly tweaking their approach.
Based on data.
All data. And it let them not just pivot their whole business model, but they ended up getting acquired because of it.
So it's not just speed, it's informed speed.
Like having the speedometer in the map.
I like that analogy.
And that brings us to this idea of validated learning.
Okay, validated learning. I hear that term a lot, but honestly, not sure I totally get it.
Eric Ries, he's the guy who really popularized it. It's about making sure your actions are leading to real progress.
Progress towards your goals, right?
You got it. Not just being busy, but actually learning, improving your assumptions as you go.
It's more than just revenue or user growth.
Way more. It's like, okay, why are those things happening? Is it repeatable?
Sustainable growth, that's the holy grail.
Cohen and Feld, they have this line. It's like $1 million in revenue means nothing.
Nothing.
If you haven't learned what your customers actually want long-term.
Wow, that's a slap in the face to a lot of startup hype.
It is. It's about building something lasting, not just a flash in the pan.
So we've got execution, we've got rapid iteration, we've got data-driven decisions, validated learning. What else makes a startup successful, according to these guys?
This one might surprise you. Mentorship and community.
Interesting.
They believe that being surrounded by people who've been there, done that, it makes all the difference.
I can see that. Starting a business, it can be lonely, even when you've got a team.
Oh, absolutely. And TechStars, their whole program, it's built on this idea.
Mentorship baked right in.
Right in. Experienced entrepreneurs working directly with each startup.
So it's more than just giving them some money and saying good luck.
Way more. Guidance, support, all through the program and even after.
So finding mentors who've walked the walk.
That's crucial. People who can offer insights, help you dodge those landmines everyone hits.
And speaking of landmines, fundraising, that's a big one for most startups. What do they say about that whole process?
David Cohen, he actually says something that's kind of radical. Don't assume you need funding.
Whoa, really?
He's a big believer in bootstrapping.
Bootstrapping, meaning?
Building it without outside investment.
Interesting. We always hear about startups raising millions.
Yeah, and that's fine for some, but bootstrapping, it gives you control.
No answering to investors who might have different priorities.
Exactly.
But okay, let's be real. A lot of startups do need to raise capital. What's their advice for when that time comes?
Cohen, he warns about those fake angel investors.
Fake meaning.
People who will waste your time, basically. They don't really know what they're doing or they're not serious.
So do your homework on those investors.
Big time. And be ready for tough questions. They want to see if you know your stuff.
And Brad Feld, he adds something about valuation.
Yeah, he says it's not the be-all and end-all.
You'd think it'd be the most important thing.
Sometimes a great investor at a slightly lower price, that can be way more valuable long-term.
So it's about finding the right partner, not just the biggest check.
100%. Someone who gets your vision, who's in it for the right reasons.
So building a successful startup, it's not just the idea, not just the money. It's execution, learning, mentorship, the right partners.
It's a whole ecosystem, and this book lays it all out.
And that brings us to a topic that a lot of founders probably try to ignore.
Oh, what's that?
Legal stuff.
Oh, yeah, that. Not glamorous, but essential.
So let's talk about that less exciting side of startups. What do they recommend, legally speaking?
First thing, don't let it become a crisis. Form your company early on, like right from the start.
Form the company. What does that even mean?
Figure out what kind of legal structure you need, LLC, S Corp, C Corp. Get some help figuring that out. And then officially set it up.
Okay, but why so early? Seems like something you could put off.
It protects you personally if things go south, and it makes ownership crystal clear, no arguments later on.
Smart move.
They also say, get those agreements in writing, everything.
Avoid the messy disputes down the road.
Exactly.
Any other legal tips that stand out?
Yeah, this one's kind of specific, but they say default to Delaware.
Delaware, like the state.
Yep. Apparently, it's the most startup-friendly state in the U.S.
Learn something new every day. Okay, so we've covered a lot here. Execution, mentorship, fundraising, legal stuff. Anything else we should touch on before we move on?
There's one more thing they talk about. It's often overlooked, especially in that startup hustle.
And that is?
Work-life balance.
Work-life balance. You're kidding. In the startup world.
I know, right? Sounds crazy. But they make a strong case for it. Taking care of yourself, it's not just a nice to have. It's essential for long-term success, both you and the business.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
They point out burnout, it's real, it hits entrepreneurs hard, and even at TechStars, where it's all go, 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 they build in breaks, they encourage people to be healthy.
So it's not about grinding yourself down to a nub.
Nope. They say balance, it makes you more productive, not less.
I like the sound of that. It's about working smarter, not just harder.
Exactly.
This is refreshing, you know? Startups, it's all about that hustle porn image.
Oh, yeah, the all-nighters, the ramen diet. This book is a good reality check.
So how do they suggest finding that balance?
They share stories from other entrepreneurs, successful ones, people who figured out how to take care of themselves while building their companies.
Okay, like who?
Mark's sister, he talks about making a big move just to be with his wife, and how exercise, it helps him clear his head, stay sharp.
That's great. It's not all about sacrificing your whole life.
Right. And then Amy Batchelor, she's Brad Feld's wife, she talks about planning your vacation time just like you would plan your work.
Intentional balance.
Love that phrase. It's so true.
Apply those same skills to your personal life.
Why not? You're building a life, not just a business, right?
This is fantastic. We've covered so much already. Execution, mentorship, fundraising, legal, work-life balance. And I feel like we've just scratched the surface.
There's a lot more to unpack, for sure.
Well, I'm excited to keep going. Stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive into Do More Faster. We're going to get even deeper into the strategies and tactics they recommend for really accelerating your startup.
So we've talked about the big picture stuff, right? Execution, the learning, mentorship, even the legal side of things. But this book, it gets into the nitty-gritty, too.
The actual how-to, yeah, I'm ready for that.
All right, buckle up, because they start with something kind of counterintuitive.
Oh. What's that?
Constraints.
Constraints, like limiting yourself. How does that help you do more faster?
I know, right? It seems backward. But they argue that constraints, they can actually make you more creative.
More focused, too, maybe.
Exactly.
Give me an example.
Okay, imagine you've got a tiny budget, right, that forces you to be scrappy, to find clever solutions.
Necessity is the mother of invention.
Or a tight deadline that can push you to work more efficiently.
Cut out all the fluff, get to the core.
They say constraints, they help you prioritize what really matters.
Okay, I'm starting to see it. So constraint is a tool. Interesting. What else do they recommend?
This one's a classic, but they go deep on it. Build a minimum viable product.
MVP, yeah, I hear that everywhere.
It's not just a buzzword.
It's about what, getting something out there as fast as possible.
With just enough features to attract those early adopters, the people who are eager to try new things.
And to validate your assumptions, right?
That's the key. See if your idea actually holds water.
So much better than spending what's building something nobody wants.
Oh yeah, it's like that old saying, fail fast, fail often.
But learn from it each time.
Exactly, and that ties back to the validated learning we talked about.
Right, it's all connected. Okay, embrace constraints, build that MVP, validate your learning as you go. What other tactical advice do they give?
They talk about metrics, but not just any metrics.
You mean not just vanity metrics?
Like website hits or followers, that stuff can be misleading.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in those.
They say focus on the metrics that actually matter for your goals.
So if your goal is customer acquisition,
Then you track cost per acquisition, customer lifetime value, things like that.
the stuff that tells you if your engine is actually working.
Exactly. Find your key performance indicators, your KPIs.
Right, metrics that matter. Got it.
And of course, they talked about team building.
Oh yeah, that's got to be huge.
They say hiring the right people, it's one of the most important things you can do.
I mean, it makes sense you can't do it all yourself.
Not for long, anyway.
So how do they suggest finding and keeping those A players?
Transparency is big. Be upfront about your culture, your values.
Let people self-select. If it's not a good fit, better to know early.
Right. And they say give people ownership, let them make decisions.
And autonomy, it can be super motivating.
It shows you trust them, and people step up when they're trusted.
So it's not just about the paycheck,
It's about creating an environment where people want to contribute.
where they feel valued, connected to the mission.
That's how you build a team that can really move mountains.
This is great stuff. I'm seeing how these strategies all fit together to help startups move faster. But let's be real, building a company, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
You said it.
How do they address that? The burnout, the keeping momentum over the long haul?
Well, remember we talked about work-life balance?
Yeah, that seemed almost impossible in the startup world.
They dedicate a whole chapter to it.
Seriously.
They argue that taking care of yourself physically and mentally, it's not just good for you, it's good for the business.
So not just pushing yourself to the limit 247.
They say find a pace you can sustain that keeps you energized.
Okay, I'm liking this focus on sustainability.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
Any tips on how to actually do that?
They recommend scheduling breaks, setting boundaries between work and life.
Making time for things you enjoy, right?
That's key. Recharge those batteries. And they also say celebrate the small wins along the way.
Oh, that's so important. It's easy to forget when you're in the thick of it.
Building a company, it's a roller coaster. Take the time to acknowledge those wins, no matter how small.
It helps you stay motivated, especially when things get tough.
And you know what else they recommend?
What's that?
Giving back to the community.
Oh, interesting. How does that fit in?
They say contributing to something bigger than yourself. It can be incredibly motivating.
I can see that.
And it can also be good for business, you know?
How so?
It helps you build relationships, connect with potential customers, even investors.
So it's good for the soul and the bottom line.
Exactly. It all ties back to building a business that's not just successful, but also meaningful.
I'm loving this conversation. These guys, they clearly get it. So what are some of the big takeaways you think our listeners should walk away with?
The biggest one, I think, is that building a successful startup, it's not about magic, it's not about luck, it's about putting in the work, having the right strategies, and being willing to adapt.
It's about embracing those constraints, building that MVP, tracking the right metrics, and building a great team, right?
Absolutely. And taking care of yourself, staying motivated for the long haul.
And finding that why, that purpose that drives you.
That's what it's all about, building something you're proud of, something that makes a difference.
This has been an amazing deep dive into Do More Faster. I'm feeling super inspired, ready to apply these lessons to my own ventures. I bet our listeners are feeling that inspiration too.
I hope so. And honestly, if you want even more of this practical stuff, the book itself, it's a must-read.
Yeah, Do More Faster. It's packed with so much good stuff. We could only cover like the tip of the iceberg here.
Cohen and Feld, they're great writers too. You can tell they really want to help entrepreneurs succeed.
So before we wrap this up, is there like one final piece of advice, something our listeners should really take to heart as they build their businesses?
Good question. I think it goes back to something we talked about earlier, finding your why.
The why. It's so easy to lose sight of that when you're in the weeds.
When you know why you're doing this, it gives you that compass, that guiding star.
Helps to make those tough decisions, stay motivated when it gets hard.
And it attracts the right people too. The team members, the investors, the customers who believe in what you believe.
It's about building a business that's not just successful, but something that's meaningful, something you're truly passionate about.
That's the sweet spot. And this book, it really lays out a path to get there.
This has been fantastic. I feel like I've got a whole new toolkit for accelerating my own projects.
Awesome. And remember, building a business, it's a journey, not a destination.
So true. There'll be bumps along the way.
But keep learning, keep adapting, keep moving forward.
And don't forget to celebrate those wins, big and small.
Couldn't agree more. Every step forward is worth celebrating.
Well, if you're looking for more deep dives into great business books, you know what to do.
Hit that subscribe button for the Business Book Club.
We do the reading, you get the insights.
Join us next time for another game-changing book. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep doing more faster.
Now that's a wrap for this episode of the Business Book Club. If you enjoyed the ride, make sure to subscribe so you'll never miss our next deep dive. By the way, if you're looking for a detailed breakdown of this book, head over to my other channel, The Weekend Book Club. There, you'll find a book summary video that dives even deeper into the key concepts, plus a free book summary to download. The link is in the show notes below. Don't miss out. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next episode.